learned the hard way that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I feel like a lot of these like sayings don't really hit until you experience it personally and get to the other side and you're like, dang, like that really resonates. And because I had the false identity of savior, I was constantly trying to save people from themselves. And then I was talking to a friend and I noticed she had the exact same pattern, which of course comes from conditioning, wounding, upbringing, all these things. And that ties into the mother wound that is kind of like a common thread throughout these past few videos. But when you want to save someone but you're drowning, and this is what I was telling her, it's like you're literally pushing them out of the water while you're going underwater. And then eventually you're gonna have to lift yourself back up to get out of the water and they're gonna start drowning. So the best thing for you to do is to get to safety first. It's just like how they say on a plane when you're running out of oxygen and they drop a little mask. It's like, put yours on first. Of course, your knee-jerk reaction is gonna be to put it on somebody else or put it on your kid. You have to allow yourself to save yourself first and pour into yourself first. And when I think about me as a child and like seeing my mother go through all the things that she went through, all I wanted was for her to be happy. And that's why I pour into myself so much, even right now before I have kids, because everything I do is for my future children. Like, I'm so intentional about how I've curated my life because I was always thinking about my future children, something greater than me, my future generations. And even if right now I'm like, maybe I don't feel fully worthy right now, or maybe I don't, feel lovable enough to pour into myself, but I'm like, what would my future children want from me? What did I want for my mother and for the women around me to have? I wanted them to be full. I wanted them to be whole. I wanted them to be healthy. I wanted them to be happy. So in turn, they could, attract good men to them and there wouldn't be so many toxic men out here. So they could raise us better and we could just have like a fully better society, right? So the more people focus on themselves, and not in a selfish, toxic way, but the more you focus on yourself and pour into yourself and really get quiet and go within, the more you can pour into other people, right? Especially if you are a giver, if you are a lover, if you are an empath, if you are, whatever you identify yourself as, compassionate. The best thing for you to do is to pour into yourself. And that doesn't mean to be selfish, right? Sometimes we overcorrect. That's what we do in the self-consciousness stage. It's like we go from one extreme to the other. Black, white, like it's a very, dualistic, like polarized stage of consciousness. It's like, okay, well, I'm overgiving. Now let me overcorrect and like not give anyone anything and just like cut everyone off and close my heart off. And it's not about overcorrecting to, let the pendulum swing way to the other side. It's about having discernment and allowing yourself to not overgive, but just like come to a happy medium. And I feel like that's what I've learned once I've, elevated my consciousness. It's like, I don't have to go from one extreme to the other. It's like, I can find a happy medium and go, what feels best to me? What feels healthiest to me? And that's part of the process, right? I don't rag myself for my past stages of consciousness and like the decisions that I made from that level of thinking, right? But now that I know better, I do better, right? So I'm like, okay, instead of pendulum swinging all the way to complete selfishness and cold-heartedness, I can allow myself to just pour into myself little by little and, do my own love languages. I talk about that mindset mastery. Like, what are your self-love languages? And how can you pour into yourself little by little every single day? And the love that you are giving to other people and the love that you're pouring into other people, how can you pour just a little bit of that into yourself and really fill your cup before you try to pour into other people?